Tugging like a crappie. Yeah, that's a big crappie right there. Big old crappie, look at that. Come on now, don't get off. Come on, don't get off. There we go. That's what we've been looking for right there, boy. We got a good hard hit. That's a big hog.
Hog. Crappie, my friends.
Hey, we're out here today on the Greater Fort Loudon Reservoir, right here in East Tennessee. We're looking for some crappie. We're going to start off with a little white curly tail. They've been hitting the little curly tail pretty good here lately. Let's see how it looks in the water here. See, it's got a nice action on that tail at a real slow retrieve, and it drives them crappie crazy, and they kind of like that. Got my old President Pfluger reel here. Got an Impulse fishing rod, Energy Series. It's really a bass rod, not really made for crappie, but it works. Got about 4-pound test coming off of that wonky float up there. We got 8-pound test main line, and then again 4-pound test coming off of that float. Alright, well, we're not having any luck here on our little curly tail, so I'm going to slow it down here a bit. Going over to this old school hand-tied blue jig with a white head and a red thread, my little patriotic hand-tied jig, tied up last year sometime. And it's got a little thread, a little red in there. We'll slow it down and see if we might be able to trigger a bite here just by changing it up a little bit. Well, we finally got one. I kept getting a bite out there. I had a feeling there was one out there, but dang it. That ain't exactly what I was hoping for. A little old bitty baby yellow bass and a leaf. Alright, little baby yellow bass, you've been what's kind of messing with me out there. Don't mess with me no more. We're looking for crappie today. See you. Well, back out here we are again today. Back here on spot number 2, second spot of the day. If we come to this spot first, it's spot number 1. If we come to it second, it's spot number 2. So what we got here is spot number 2. We've been to spot number 1, and we did not catch anything except one little old yellow bass. Didn't seem to be any crappie out there in spot number 1. Wind's picked up here a bit. The wind is blowing back in a better favorable direction today than it was last week. It's kind of blowing back into this cove a little bit. And we'll give it a try right here. Start off with this little curly tail and then go over to this blue jig. Well, we got one. I think we might have a keeper here. I was losing my hope that there was anything out there. Made so many casts, no bites, no hits. We got something that's got a little weight to it here. Let's hope it's a crappie, because if it is, we got one for the stringer. What do we got? Nah, catfish. Dang it. That ain't what we were really looking for right there. We weren't looking for no catfish. But we got a catfish. We got a little old channel catfish. I'm kind of tempted to maybe keep him right there. He'd make a couple of nice little fillets. Here, get these pliers. You can get him loose here. We got a fish here. Nice little crappie right there, son. Look at that. Back here in this shallow water, I seen them coming up down here, and I thought that was some crappie. Darn, we got a good one right there. Right here at dark. Get that little green jig. I had a feeling they might be out here a little bit. Kept seeing some action back here in this shallow water, so I shallowed up a bit. And that did the trick right there. Let's see if we can get another one real quick like. Left my stringer up there next to the car. So we're going to set him back on the bank here. Because we know he'll keep. We're going to see if we can get back out there and get another one. That's a good sign. I kept seeing some fish come up on top of the water, and to me, crappie have a real specific way of hitting the top of the water. And to me, it looked like a bunch of them coming up out here. And sure enough, we got one there. Keep working it right here a little bit. They're still coming up out there. I'm pretty sure that's crappie. Real calm out there right now. It's not too deep out there. It's probably about 6 feet, 4 to 6 feet maybe at max. If that. I maybe need to shallow up a little bit more. There we go. That's what we've been looking for right there, boy. We got a good hard hit right there. It's either going to be a big crappie or a white bass. Let's hope for a big crappie. Man, he thumped it hard. Look at that. Let's see what we got right here, my friends. That's a big hog crappie. Hog crappie, my friends. Big hog crappie. Look at that. Boy, he smacked that white curly tail grub. Got him. Look at that, my friends. Wow. Whew. That was a fine fish. I mean, that is a beautiful crappie right there. Look at that. A beautiful crappie. Look at him. Hit that white curly tail grub. I don't quite call him a monster, but he's a big one. Let's see how big he is right here. Matter of fact, we'll measure him up for good measure. The old stringer out here. A 12-inch ruler right here. 11, right at 11. Bad boy, he fought hard. Really hard fighting fish right there. Let's get him on a stringer. That's pretty crappie right there. Healthy looking this time of year. Really healthy looking. Shad. It's rare that you'll catch a shad on a jig, but he hit that jig right there. That's what you call a shad. You don't want to touch them. They are the slimiest fish known to man. The old shad. I'm going to try to get him off here without touching him. Ain't going to be able to do it though. Ooh, he's slimy. See what we got. If that's a crappie right there, we have got a nice one. It don't feel like a crappie. It's too big, I believe. But if it is, it's a good one. Tugging like a crappie. Yeah, that's a big crappie right there. Big old crappie. Look at that. Come on now, don't get off. Come on, don't get off. Don't get off. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. That is one of my bigger ones right there for a while. You saw how close in he was. He wasn't out but right there.
That's beautiful. That's the size, if not yesterday. It was 11 inches.
Is that right? Beautiful white crappie. Look at that, man. And he was not that far out, so we know there's some out there, my friend.
Yeah,
We're gonna get him on the string. That's probably one of the biggest ones I've caught this year. That'll go over 13 inches, I think.
wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah, he was. I didn't think he was a crappie at first, but man, that feels good to get one. Barely hooked. A lot of these are just barely hooked in the mouth. You can't let any slack on them, because see how when he was sloshing, just the least little bit of slack. And
yeah, isn't it crazy how light they're hooked?
yeah, it is amazing. And almost all the ones I've been catching have been hooked right at the edge of the mouth.
You're like, how did it not come off?
Right there, he's about 13 inch, 12 and a half inches, close to 13 probably.
Wow.
That's a beautiful white crappie right there.